Have you ever dreamt of something related to a case where the entity in question tried contacting you through your dream?
I would say no to that. But in terms of having an entity interact with people that I've known who have rung me up and like at 2 a.m. to tell me that there's a figure walking down the stairs wearing a black cape and a tricorn hat. And I know, like, obviously the person would have no knowledge of what we've done, who we've been involved in. And that description is literally that of a highwayman. The tricorn hat was like the triangular hat.
When we were doing investigations of the Spaniards Inn, for a period of like 2-3 years, it seemed like this entity was following us around.
Yeah.
People dreaming about seeing this vision, but would have no knowledge of what we were doing.
Yeah,
so a lot of it was correlated.
And what was really weird was there was this one particular time.
It wasn't evil.
When we was in the Spaniards filming and I was poked in the eyeball, physically poked in the eyeball. And then a couple of weeks later, I was sitting down with my friend and I said, like, have a look at what we're doing, showing her the video, and all of a sudden, from nowhere, she just let out this almighty scream and she went, my eye, something just poked me in my eye. And I was like, oh my God. And I said, just keep watching. And then literally, half hour into the video, she sees me getting poked in the eye. So it's things like that. I mean, it's very strange, Ravi, really strange. Yeah.
Have you guys interacted with entities that you guys felt were evil out and out?
I mean, there was one which I won't forget, and that was Bodmin Jail in Cornwall. Bodmin Jail, which is, reputedly haunted. And I had the team down one end of the the prison cell down one end, and I stayed at the other end on my own. And I said, if you want us to go, give us a sign. And this stone, like a rock, a cobblestone, just went bang and was thrown like behind me against the wall, really loud. We've got that on video as well. But yeah, like this cobblestone from nowhere was launched at the wall.
So that would be called poltergeist activity.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a sign as if to say they want us out, but it won't get me out. No.
I mean, we respect the boundaries, of course, but we've travelled all the way to Cornwall. We're not just going to be running out of the building, basically.
Not run out, no. No.
What is a poltergeist?
A poltergeist is essentially, it's a German for noisy ghost or noisy spirit, right?
Yeah.
It basically is an entity that is able to interact with objects surrounding the area and can use it to make noises, bangs, throw things. And, we've had people ring us up saying we've had things thrown across the room, doors closing, slamming, knocking, opening up doors. That's typical poltergeist activity.
Yeah, there are many documented cases globally of poltergeist activity, all over the world. One famous case is the Enfield poltergeist.
That's the most famous.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most famous cases in the UK. Is the Enfield poltergeist. There are others, of course, that have been very well documented.
Why is this case famous?
Because basically the witnesses involved included, obviously there were credible witnesses, police officers, there was a lollipop lady, reporters, members of the Society for Psychical Research, Maurice Gross, who I had the great pleasure of meeting and working with. He documented, that case for a couple of years, and he was able to ascertain that there was definitely something going on. There was a young girl involved in that who was the entity was talking through her larynx.
We'll see if he'll speak to us.
Yeah.
Is anybody there?
No.
Who's there?
Doctor.
Doctor who?
And so she wasn't actually physically talking, but the spirit was talking, using her as a portal, and it was like, you know, coming from the back of her neck, but using, you know,
using parts of voice box that
voice box.
supposedly a girl's voice could never reach.
No, she would have to literally be the greatest ventriloquist in the world, and when they, you know, like they've actually found out at the end of the case study, it was like a 2-year case study, that the entity revealed himself as Bill Wilkins, and basically when the evidence was played and aired, I believe his son heard this voice, and he came forward and recognised it as his father's voice, and he approached Morris and said, "That's my dad," you know.
Sounds like that.
And he did. He died in that house in a chair in the corner. And obviously they went to the graveyard, and there it was, his grave. And when they got the death certificate was exactly how, you know, the young 10-year-old girl, 11-year-old at the time, whatever, she was able to say, you know, her name's Bill, and, well, you know, the entity's name was Bill, and died of a brain hemorrhage and went blind before he died. You know, but yeah.
And this is before the days of internet, so you couldn't really research
there was
stuff like that. So
no-
this girl
yeah.
couldn't really have any much knowledge about what happened before they came and moved into the house.
Yeah, so obviously there are a lot of people that debunk it and try to sort of, you know, but I spoke to Morris, and he was such a lovely, genuine man.
What was the father trying to tell the son?
No, he wasn't trying to tell the son. It was the fact that he came through just to say, "This is my house."
And it was
you know?
quite an aggressive
Very
form
aggressive
of poltergeist.
form,
Like
yeah.
the girl was being lifted up out of the bed, thrown in the air
Across
the room, and they invited the newspapers to come and document the case, and they managed to capture the moment
She was
she was thrown out of the bed. So the thing is that in our field, we try to document the evidence by camera, by audio, however means, to try and get something on camera. This case was obviously back in the 70s. Technology wasn't that great, but they were able to document things happening through voice recordings, you know, video recording, photography, and using credible witnesses such as the police, who would come in the house. They would be hearing thumping in the walls,
Lego bricks
being thrown at them. So this is why we say the foundations of any case is the witness, is the participants, and then I guess the structure of the investigation. And the fact that Morris Gross was such a credible investigator.
How did this particular case wind down then?
I think the media interest fizzled out, and I believe that the actual, once they established who it was, the family started to realise that, you know, I mean, the entity presented itself less and less and less and less,
And they moved away as well.
Yeah, just like what we say with the Ouija. Once they're established, they've had their little hissy fit. They come out and they're like, you know, this is me.
I'm here. This is my space. Get
I'm
out.
here, my space. Get out. And then once you, like you say, like Dean said earlier, if you just show them that you're not a threat, you're not there for any sort of other reason than to either interact with them, or it's your home or whatever, then, you know.
I think the family gained more control, and it was more about the fact of it done its worst. It couldn't do much worse. And the more they established that, you know, it was drawing their energy, drawing down.
It lived on their fear.
Yeah. So when they took a break,
So when the fear-
and they moved out of the house, they took a break,
Yeah,
came back,
And it died down.
it died down. Because I think they took her away on holiday for a long time. She went into a hospital for a bit, came out, and she was more solid as a person.
And now the house, there's nothing there.
No.
It lived in their fear.
Yeah, I mean, once it was established, told its story, and that was it, I'm sure the people that live there now, they know there's nothing there now. So it's just an ordinary house now.
Yeah.
But obviously at that moment, there was a troubled family. The energy it was picking up from what was going on with the family, you know, with the mum breaking up with the dad, and you know, and the children suffering, and
What the belief system is in regards to poltergeist is that they prey on people that are vulnerable. And that's what most cases seem to.
And vulnerability is defined by emotional trauma.
it could be emotional trauma, or
Just a bad atmosphere, events happening. That's if there's a divorce or separation, or there's things going on in your personal life.
Exactly.
Anything that has a negative impact on someone, it can impact their negative mindset.
Alcohol abuse and drug abuse.
Yes.
Yeah, alcohol, drugs, all that can feed the belief that something's going on. So you're best to always remain grounded. Keep your feet on the floor, because that's why the earth's here. So you can, you know where you stand.
If you end up on the ceiling, then you've got a problem.
Then you call us. Some people don't realise, like, if they got like a sort of,
an old house.
The buildings expand and contract, and there's movement underground, and you've got like infrasounds from all kinds of things that could be happening miles away. There could be infrasounds coming from traffic, about half a mile down the road, and it's travelling through the ground into their environment.
A very interesting one is where we've gone into pubs, and they've had reported glasses being thrown or being tipped over. But we've been investigating, and lorries have gone past, or big vehicles, but they cause a vibration in the floor.
And move the glasses slowly,
gradually.
And then off they go, So when they're there at that moment, it's because obviously the lorries or the buses that have gone past throughout the day have been slowly moving that bottle towards the edge, ready for it to go. So when they capture it on CCTV or whatever, they're like, oh, it's a ghost. No, that's a natural thing. Everyone does that. We know that. But not everything is a ghost.
Yeah.
There's
explanations, rational explanations for a lot of the things.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm sure you guys have a memory of all the ghosts or entities that you guys met over the course of the last 28 years?
Yeah, so
it's around that. It's come up to 30 years,
It's 28 years that you guys have been ghost hunters. Sorry to use that.
I like that term, though. That's what I prefer. Ghost hunters, not ghost busters. We don't bust ghosts. We don't go around busting them. We don't go around with a pin and go. We are ghost hunters, respectively. That's what we're doing. We're hunting ghosts. Or looking for evidence of the afterlife. That's what I really. That is my goal, and I'm pretty sure, like, for Dean, who's very skeptical, wants the same thing. Even though we have different belief systems, ultimately we still have the same goal in purpose.
And we respect each other's view, and that's it.